At the moment, we are now going to look at poll of polls because lots of polls have come. We've just heard what the Axis My India poll has said. I'll repeat those numbers and then we'll go to the other polls. Remember, Axis My India is projecting 121 to 141 out of 243 for the NDA and 98 to 118 to the RJD. Midpoint is 108 plays 131. That's what Axis My India says. I'm also joined by Amitabh Tiwari, who's been polling voter vibe. Amitabh, please feel free, first of all, to tell us, aapka number kya hai? Final number is what? Are you somewhere close to what Pradeep said? I saw your numbers also giving an edge to the NDA, but can you give us your numbers in terms of seats at the moment, Amitabh?
Yeah, so in terms of vote share, we have NDA at 45% and Mahagatbandhan at 42%.
So you're giving a 3% edge. Pradeep Gupta is giving 2%.
2%, yeah, but it is all within the margin of error, right? Because plus minus 3% is the margin of error.
So can I just get that right? Because Pradeep Gupta also is 43 plays 41. All of you are saying that it is within the margin of error. Are you also saying it's a tight contest?
See, because we have all discussed that it's a hyper-local contest seat by seat. The BJP has not denied tickets to a lot of MLAs, and that has created some level of anger against the MLAs who are not very popular. Secondly, apart from this Mahila Rozgar Yojana, there is no overall state-level theme in this election. So if you see in terms of seats, what we are saying is 125 to 145 for NDA and 95 to 115 for the Mahagatbandhan.
Can you just repeat those numbers?
125 to 145 for NDA.
So your halfway mark is 135 for the NDA.
Yeah, and 95 to 115 for the Mahagatbandhan. So 105 for them.
So roughly in the same range as 2020 broadly, 5-7 seats here and there.
Amongst females, NDA enjoys a 10% lead according to us.
10%?
A 10%. But amongst males, the Mahagatbandhan enjoys a 4% lead. So on a net basis, there is a 6% lead in gender for the NDA, which translates into a 3% vote share lead, because this time even the votes polled are same.
And which will be the single largest party?
Single largest party in our survey, JDU and RJD are tied.
So in your survey also JDU getting more seats than the BJP?
Yes. It's like 65 JDU plus minus 5, 60 for BJP, and then 10 for others plus minus 5.
You know, it's fascinating to look at that. You know, that's one big difference from 2020. The balance of power between the two allies, Rajat, is clearly shifting. I mean, are you surprised at that? If these numbers hold, this is a big if. This is the second pollster or third pollster who's come to us who said that JDU is possibly doing better or certainly as well as the BJP. That time, of course, Chirag Paswan was used, many believe, by the BJP to downsize Nitish. That's not happened this time. But it shows the regional party matters more than the national party in a state election.
Well, there are just too many conclusions that you're drawing.
So tell me, what is your conclusion if these numbers hold?
First and foremost, that sentiment is coming in that this is the farewell election of Nitish Kumar, and lot of supporters of Nitish who had been suffering through fatigue and all of that. This time there was a sense of, satisfaction that this man has contributed to Bihar fundamentally. And I think that is something which is rallying the support for his core base, excited, going to the elections, hitting the elections properly, not in fighting. There was no disturbance in the seat allocation ticket distribution of JDU. Cleanest ticket distribution of any party in this election was JDU. One of the finest works that the current national president and the state unit, all of them got together and they were able to manage it, which also resulted in nobody, doing friendly fight and this and that on the ground. And this was reverberating. And I believe BJP as a party, and I've said this before, and I concur with Rajiv Pratap Rudy ji also, BJP, some of their fundamental deputy chief ministerial candidates, they've toyed with 3 or 4 by now.
That's right.
None of them have actually stuck on to basically fill in that leadership vacuum to drive the party forward. And also keep in mind, Bihar is one state where historically RSS has been the weakest. There is some, the taseer hai Bihar, it remains socialist. And this is the reason why BJP is not able to go beyond that 18%, 20% mark fundamentally and take it to a level where they can claim that, that is the numero uno
You
party
raise a
in that
very
state.
important point because that is a big distinction many believe between Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Yes. And Uttar Pradesh, the BJP has built itself up for the last 30-35 years, particularly post the Babri Masjid demolition, the Ram Rath Yatra, and there was a polarization that took place that eventually countered and many believe conquered the mandalization that took place.
But that
That's not
disintegrated in 2024, Rajdeep.
Sorry?
That disintegrated in 2024 Uttar Pradesh elections.
We don't know
Lok
whether,
Sabha.
the word disintegration would be a very strong
No,
word
with what
to
you're
use.
saying, with what you suggested,
ma'am,
the results were...
I think you have to look at it over the arc of the last 30-35 years. The BJP has emerged as the #1 party of Uttar Pradesh by some distance. On the other hand, in Bihar, the BJP has struggled to emerge as a consistent #1 party because you tell me why. Tell me why.
Look at the figure that we are one of the poorest people of the world.
Yes.
You fight a sub-Saharan Africa.
Well
What
said.
do poor people live by? Ideology. And the fact that we have had anti-zamindari movements. Remember, after 1990, all these leaders owe themselves to a man called Karpuri Thakur.
So are you saying that
Poverty-
the BJP is still seen as an upper caste party in Bihar?
Of course.
No, is it still seen?
Yes, it is.
Despite the fact that they've tried to
And,
consciously project
sir,
OBC
where
leaders.
is Tarkishore Prasad ji? Where is Renu Devi ji? Renu Devi ji is the face of the Mahila voter campaign? You tell me. Who is the face of all
So
this?
they need to also rise up to the occasion.
Sir,
They were given
one
a
second,
chance,
sir. 1 second. My
No,
turn.
no, he's making it that they
sir,
should
can
rise
I
to the
speak?
occasion. Go ahead.
Can I speak, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Please fundamentally respect the fact that UP has not had the anti-feudal movements that Central and South Bihar have had. Please remember
Agrarian
Arvind Narayan
movements.
Das defining this whole area. Please remember Champaran and Peasant Satyagraha. Please remember the only place where there is a sadhu called Sajanam Saraswati, who is actually a Communist Party sadhu, and he becomes a leader of the Quit India movement. So Bihar is a place where Kisani is not about the rich, our land holding is the poorest,
Yes.
and the fact the women voters that you're talking about are landless women laborers.
Is
So they are-
that where, given what you've said, what is interesting because many believe, Javed Ansari, that was the opportunity lost by Lalu Prasad. When Lalu Prasad won exactly 30 years ago, that big victory in 1995, it was seen as a victory of the poor and the oppressed under the name of social justice. We have to end the rule of the upper caste. Lalu Prasad eventually turned the Bahujanization or the Mandalization of Bihar into the Yadavization. And therefore, Tejashwi is in some way or the other paying the price for that. Lalu is both his asset and liability. He brings that 14-15% Yadav vote with him, but he also thereby is unable to build the umbrella coalition of the poor. That was the reason why Lalu Prasad won.
And
then in
Nitish
Bihar,
succeeded.
to get a majority, remember Nitish succeeded but never
Nitish
got
succeeded.
a majority on his own.
Yes.
So Nitish also,
Always
let's be very
needed
clear,
yes.
Nitish also needs the BJP. Just as Lalu Prasad probably also needs props along with him to actually go above or Tejashwi needs props to go above the halfway mark. He may be #1 at the end of this election, but he's not anywhere close to a majority. Is there fundamentally a problem that Bihar has been unable to come out of a clear Mandal trap into Mandal 2.0 and build a wider coalition? None of them are able to do it. And Nitish has perhaps been the most successful in a way.
Correct.
So Lalu's biggest failing was that he mistook the Mandal mandate for a mandate for himself and for Yadavization. When he and Nitish Kumar were together, before the split, they romped home. Even after the split in 2014, when Mr. Modi had stormed the
2015,
country
yes.
in 2015, they defeated the BJP hands down in Bihar. It's only when they split. So it's only, every time Lalu makes this mistake, Lalu has been unable to expand the bouquet, unable to bring in more castes. He excluded. Why did Nitish Kumar break away from Lalu? Look at the kind of views that Nitish Kumar has or has had about the BJP and the RSS. But why is he broken away? Because there was absolutely no room for him.
Can I therefore ask you, one of the interesting aspects is Nitish's strength actually that he doesn't come from a numerically strong caste. Thereby,
His
he
biggest
doesn't
advantage.
intimidate the other groups. It's very strange that the leader with the 15% caste base, the Yadavs, attracts the Muslims but no one else. And that could go back to arresting Advani and we can go back to the Rath Yatra.
Yeah.
But Nitish Kumar has been able to cultivate a larger umbrella coalition of the EBCs.
Yes, precisely. His social background of coming from Kurmi caste matters because in everyday experience, you do not find rest of the OBCs and Dalits facing a very antagonistic presence of the Kurmis, unlike the Yadavs who are numerically and also in many areas they have land holding. So that is one. Two, Nitish Kumar also changes the reference because then Lalu faces a Kurmi, a backward vis-a-vis the others. It is not Jagannath Mishra or Bhagwat Jha, etc. Right? So that is why you find that rest of the OBCs, non-Yadav OBCs, EBCs, the reference is always OBC versus OBC, and that's also hinders the way of the BJP in Bihar.
It's interesting that we are still mentioning Lalu Prasad, even though he's not anywhere in this election, no poster, nothing.
But
Lalu ki, as a BJP leader said, even if Lalu was not there, we'd have to invent him.
After
to
life
make sure,
of Lalu, after
to
life
make
of
the
Lalu.
ghosts of Lalu have to remain. Yes, Maria.
But Rajdeep, Tejashwi Yadav has managed to expand and go beyond MY as well. He did experiment to some extent last time around. This time, if the Mahagatbandhan touches that 41%, it also means that the Yadavs can come together along with the Mallas. Then other EBC mobilization can also happen, something that Akhilesh has managed to do in the neighboring state.